Imagine this. You check your bank account and notice it's lower than expected. Upon investigation, you find a series of small fees nibbling away at your balance. Sounds familiar? Welcome to the reality of hidden banking fees. These fees are like the unwanted guests at a party, showing up uninvited and leaving a mess behind. They come in many forms. Some banks charge maintenance fees, a price you pay just for having an account. Then there are ATM fees, a toll you pay for accessing your own money. And let's not forget about paper statement fees, a charge for receiving a physical copy of your account activities. These fees might seem minimal at a glance, but they quickly add up, silently draining your account. It's like having a small leak in your wallet, and before you know it, you're losing money without even realizing it. Why don't we ever notice these fees? Because they're designed to be overlooked. They're the small, sneaky villains in our banking story. As consumers, we face a series of challenges when dealing with banks. The first hurdle? Deciphering the complicated terms and conditions. You may think you're signing up for a straightforward savings account, but the small print can hide a labyrinth of clauses that might just turn your financial planning on its head. Banks are notorious for their use of complex, jargon-filled language, making it tough for the average person to fully grasp what they're getting into. And then there's the advertising. Ever been enticed by a free checking account only to find out it's anything but free? Banks are experts at promoting their products in a way that seems appealing, but the reality can often be a far cry from what's advertised. Misleading advertising is a common tactic, and it's one that can leave consumers feeling duped and frustrated. Remember, not everything that glitters is gold, especially when it comes to banking. Now, let's delve into the darker side of banking. Overdraft fees and minimum balance requirements, the two big monsters in the room. Banks, like any business, are in it to make money. And one of the ways they do this is by charging you overdraft fees. These are the fees you're slapped with when you spend more money than you have in your account. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, it's not always that simple. Some banks have a habit of charging hefty fees. We're talking about $20, $30, or even $40 for each instance. And these charges can add up quickly, causing significant financial strain. But the sneaky part? It's often not clearly communicated to you. You might be caught off guard when you see your statement at the end of the month. And there they are, those pesky overdraft fees gnawing away at your hard-earned money. And then there's the minimum balance requirement. This is the lowest amount of money that you're required to keep in your account at all times. If your balance falls below this amount, you could be hit with yet another fee. Again, the issue here is that banks often don't do a great job of making these requirements clear to their customers. So, you might find yourself paying a fee for something you weren't even aware of. And here's the kicker. Banks often prioritize processing larger transactions first, even if they were made after smaller ones. Why? Because this increases the chances that your account will go into overdraft, allowing them to charge you those high overdraft fees. It's a clever, albeit sneaky way for banks to maximize their profits. And the most shocking thing? Banks often prioritize processing larger transactions first to maximize these overdraft fees. After all these revelations, the question remains, how can we protect ourselves? Well, it all boils down to one thing: becoming an informed consumer. Remember those hidden fees we discussed earlier? They can't stay hidden if you're diligent about reading the fine print. And those confusing terms and conditions? They become a lot less confusing when you take the time to understand them. It's all about being proactive, folks. Don't wait for the banks to explain things to you. Take matters into your own hands. Research, ask questions, and never stop learning. And let's not forget about those sneaky bank tactics: high overdraft fees, minimum balance requirements, and prioritizing transactions to maximize their profits. Knowledge of these tactics is your best defense. So keep your eyes open, stay vigilant, and always be ready to challenge the status quo. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your money. So arm yourself with information and don't let the banks pull a fast one on you. Let's use this knowledge to make a change. Share your banking experiences in the comments below. We all have stories about hidden fees, unexpected charges, or sneaky terms and conditions. The more we understand about the banking system, the better we can navigate it to our advantage. Your experiences and tips could help others navigate these murky waters more effectively. And remember, if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. We've got plenty more educational content about personal finance coming your way. Your engagement is what makes our community so powerful. Together, we can change the narrative and ensure our money works for us, not the banks. Stay sharp, stay knowledgeable.